Good evening, Commonwealth, and thanks for watching the Channel 2 News. I'm Ashley McDowell. Let's take a look at tonight's top stories. Officers are on the lookout as a second attempt of kidnapping has taken place. Also tonight, a male is caught on camera and arrested for stalking. And the financial reports show CNMI is overspending. In sports, throw away the birth certificates and put away the clocks for these guys. Stay with us, these stories and more are next.
The phone you want now on the best network and a plan that gives you endless data on chat, social, and music apps. Tell your Docomo Pacific rep you want now with access. Docomo Pacific, better together. Some conditions apply.
A new year. A new decade. Brings new opportunities. At Pacific Insurance Underwriters, we are happy to help. Rest assured, Marianas.
Hafa Day, Tirawami, and good evening, Commonwealth. Today is Wednesday, January 15th, 2020. It is the second attempted kidnapping in DanDan, this time at a private residence. According to the Department of Public Safety, on Sunday, January 12th, around 5:50 p.m., a call was made to 911 reporting an attempted kidnapping at a house located in DanDan.
In that first meetup at the residence, the female juvenile stated that she noticed a silver-colored sedan, no make, no model, and no license plate was described or given. She stated that when she went outside her home to wash her hands in one of the outside spigots or the faucets, she noticed a silver-colored sedan pulled into their property and was trying to call her attention.
The juvenile stated it was a male voice coming from the silver sedan that stated, quote, "Come over here because I have something for your mother."
The female juvenile looked at the sedan, and I guess as soon as the male driver or the male suspect was attempting to get out of the vehicle, she quickly ran into the home and told her older cousin, who then called the attention of her mother. And then the mother actually called 911.
The juvenile was unable to give a description of the male, but did state that the car was silver in color and was a sedan. This is the second attempted kidnapping in DanDan within 2 days. On Friday, January 10th, DPS was called to DanDan for a separate attempted kidnapping at a student bus stop. That time, the description given to authorities was a gray sedan with scratches on the side and a male with dark hair that spoke clear English.
It did occur in the same village. What officers are doing right now is we're beefing up patrolling around the villages, and all units that are on patrol are actively looking for any silver or gray colored sedans, and also we're still looking for that vehicle with the scratches on its side.
Authorities are not clear if the two cases are related, but are asking parents to speak with their children on the dangers of strangers.
We're asking parents within the CNMI and of course, and stateside to be aware of, situations like this, to speak with their children and to, notify them of the dangers of stranger danger, and of course, to, teach them about the dangers of unfamiliar faces, asking unusual questions around unfamiliar adults and without a chaperone around.
Pangilinan does ask if you or someone you know is involved in a similar incident to call 911. A male is arrested for stalking and disturbing the peace. On Thursday, January 9th, a female filed a complaint of a male individual stalking her residence in Gairpan. The victim stated she had seen a man roam outside of her home on several occasions. The victim then installed security cameras and footage that revealed the male roaming outside her home once again before taking one of her undergarments from the clothesline. On Friday, January 10th, DPS police officers arrested Renato Gaviola and transported him to the Department of Corrections, where he was booked and detained. Following his arrest, a Rule 5 declaration was processed and signed by Judge Teresa Kim Tenorio, with bail set at $5,000. The Supreme Court answered 3 certified questions pertaining to financing for the public school system. Governor Ralph Torres and the chairperson of the Board of Education, Mary Lou Ada, submitted 3 questions to the Supreme Court for clarification on the CNMI Constitution, which states the school system will receive no less than 25% of the general revenue of the Commonwealth in their annual budget. The 3 questions asked are: what is general revenue? Specifically, what sources can be earmarked without depriving PSS of its guaranteed budget? The answer given by the Supreme Court is that whatever is left over after earmarking funds, but with the additional requirements that will require correlation to what's being funded. The second question is if a suspension of an earmark will become general revenue and give 25% to PSS. Supreme Court answered yes. And the third question is, does PSS always get 25% of supplementary funds that the government appropriates? And the Supreme Court answered yes. The Department of Finance submits their annual financial report to the House, and some representatives are very much concerned with the numbers. Sally Lemus has the details.
The CNMI's reported deficit for fiscal year 2019 equals to $98 million. KSPN speaks with Representative Tina Sablan, who is requesting a detailed breakdown of the over-expenditures reported.
Every year, the Secretary of Finance is required to report to the governor and the legislature the overall picture of expenditures versus revenue collections for that year, right? So we looked at the reports for the last 3 years, so 2017, 2018, and 2019. And what we found, according to the reports from the Department of Finance, is that the CNMI government has consistently overspent, and more than that, tripled the overspending from year to year.
The annual report sent to the legislature for fiscal year 2019 states the CNMI overspent more than $8 million in 2017, more than $26 million in 2018, and $98 million in 2019.
It's shocking, even taking into account the disaster-related expenditures, which were less than half of that $98 million. We're still looking at $53 million of these huge over-expenditures beyond budgeted allotments. That's what I meant when I said government spending is out of control.
Sablan says the administration should have realistic projections of what incoming revenues will be and rational government operations and services.
And the Constitution actually mandates that we retire the deficit. So if there's a deficit 1 year, we need to retire the deficit in the second year, right? That hasn't happened in the history of the Commonwealth as far as I know, but what we know for sure is that we are in violation of that.
Sablan, along with minority members of the House, feels the Department of Finance needs more resources for enforcement and upgraded systems.
In some ways, these are very structural issues. These are problems with the system. But at the end of the day, we're talking about mismanagement. We're talking about public funds being misspent and overspent. And what we are pushing for is a government that can live within its means, and that carries out the laws and collects taxes so that services can be provided and we're not wasting any money.
I'm Sally Lemis reporting for KSPN News.
Thank you, Sally. Coming up, we get an inside look at the business plan for the reconstruction of the Lighthouse. Stay tuned.
Mom, are you sure? What about the shutters? And do you have your medicine?
Don't worry about us, love, okay? You take good care of yourself. I'm in love. Yeah, sorry. The power went out, so I had to light up all the candles. Yeah. Yes, baby, yeah. I'm just glad our home phone's working and we're able to contact you.
Winigi PHI Pharmacy in Gofadahi Ihinim Lomo.
Our complete line of pharmaceuticals and lowest prices ensure you get the treatment that you deserve.
Our compassionate, friendly, multilingual staff will take the time to get to know you, explain your medications to you, and answer any questions that you may have.
Ngere eyor sumaye ukalweres ren, kutsu wayor safeye emal ebalisyu klalyam weres.
Inumin ng inyong gamot ayon sa inireseta ng inyong doktor at alinsunod sa bilin ng inyong pharmaceutical.
We accept most insurance, but in case you don't have coverage, we offer cost-effective generic drugs.
PHI Pharmacy, your lifelong partner in health. PHI, the pharmacy you can trust.
Welcome back to the Channel 2 News. A lease for the Lighthouse up on Navy Hill was signed by the Department of Public Lands. KSPN spoke with the Chief Operating Officer of the project to renovate the historic building, who gives us a rundown of the business plan. It's the Mariana's Lighthouse, located up on Navy Hill, a historical landmark that was built in 1934 to facilitate entry into the new harbor, and was referred to as the Japanese Signal House. The lighthouse received extreme damage from the war and has since been renovated, turned into a restaurant, and then was abandoned, becoming vacant for many years. But the Department of Public Lands has signed a new lease for the building.
The history lies that we first came here as a trip, as a vacation, and the CEO of our Bibong Corporation, he really was moved by the people of Saipan because they were really nice and kind. And once he visited this place, the view was, it's very beautiful here. So that's how it began this business here.
James Lee is the Chief Operating Officer for the Mariana Lighthouse, who says he and his business partners plan to renovate the building.
We've got 4 investors who are funding here, and we all visited Saipan before, and it's the people from Korea. 4 people are investing this facility for this plan.
The building was listed on the National Register in 1974, giving a long list of requirements to follow before construction to renovate can begin. Lee says the remaining permits should be approved within the next 2 weeks, where groundbreaking will take place on the reconstruction, creating an establishment for coffee or an evening cocktail.
It's been a long time since it has been abandoned, but the main plan and the development plan that we have here so far is we're going to turn this facility into coffee and a pub. And we're also going to have an observation point on the 3rd floor for rating shots and etc. And on the ground floor that we have here, we're going to make it into a square plaza type, and we'll be selling light foods and ice cream.
The reconstructed lighthouse will be able to facilitate up to 150 people. And if you're looking for a job, Lee says they will be hiring up to 50 people to run the operations.
We'll be shooting out advertisements that we will be recruiting people.
He says they are expecting the renovations to take 2 months to complete.
The opening will be around May, I believe, and we'll be recruiting many people to work with us in the 1st floor and the 2nd floor, and some staff members as well. This facility is a huge historical asset for Saipan and for the whole world. So we believe it can gain many attractions to the people globally. So hopefully we can benefit the city of Saipan, the people of Saipan as well at the same time.
And although the structure is safe, it has been abandoned for many years. Lee and his partners do ask the public to stay out of the building until all renovations are complete. Reporting for KSPN, I'm Ashley McDowell. In Guam news, a mayor's office comes under attack, but is it fair? That's the issue in this KUAM news report.
Afide Tauto CNMI, here's what's making news on Guam. Agate Mayor Kevin Sasuiko is crying foul after Senator Regine Bisco Lee called him out over what she says are some questionable spending practices. Lee has asked the AG, the public auditor, and oversight chairman Senator Jose Pito Zerlahi to look into her concerns, but the mayor says there's nothing to see here. Nestor Lecanto has more in this report.
Senator Regine Bisco Lee says it's as clear as the report that Mayor Kevin Sasuiko submitted. More than $50,000 in payments to 2 Agate mayoral office employees that were not properly accounted for.
There were just a number of reimbursements that were given to 2 individuals at the Agate Mayor's office that raised a lot of red flags for me. And so I just wanted an opportunity to ask questions about those.
But the mayor reassures that it's all above board and he can show her.
We actually have the supporting documents, the copies of the checks, the receipts, the reasons for procuring or purchasing the items that we had, and the reasons why it was being reimbursed to certain individuals.
It's really important to remember that the Mayor's Council's standard operating procedures actually highly discourages the use of reimbursing for these non-appropriated funds.
Every year, our office is audited by the external auditor, and we were never red flagged, or we were never told that this process is in non-compliance. And as long as we had the supporting documents and we were issuing out a reimbursement check with the correct receipts and the reasonings, then it would be acceptable.
Even his own admission, he has admitted that these are kind of sketchy accounting practices. And if there's a way that they can improve, then I'm all for it, and I'm sure that's something that he also is looking forward to being able to do.
You know, if there's a better process that can be done, we will ensure that we take it moving forward. And again, the reason why we stuck to this original process is because it has worked.
You know, there was communication between my office and the Agate Mayor's office. There were questions that were raised prior to these letters coming out. I do look forward to having a discussion with the Agate Mayor. I think it's important that we continue our dialogue.
She's been very unfair, and she could have easily reached out to her office, most especially since I've tried to reach out to her. Of course, it's a political year, and I understand maybe she has a different motive, but I really wish that she would have extended that respect to our office.
For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
Stay connected by way of our KUAM mobile news app. Follow us on any of the social media platforms and sign up for our weekly email newsletter. That's KUAM Digital Digest on KUAM.com. For Guam's News Network, Guahusi Chris Barnett.
All right, coming up in the KSPN2 Sports Report, the Sports Association launches a new year, a new decade, and a new era. We'll have that story next.
Watch the Visitors Channel online, on time, anytime at saipantv.com. Where to go, what to see, what to do, restaurants, spas, activities, and culture, it's all in one place, in high definition, on your mobile device. saipantv.com. Check it out.
Welcome to Marianas Medical Center. We've been taking care of you and your family since 1998. We offer preventive health care services, acute and chronic care for both adults and children.
围产期以及妇科的检查
신생아 선별 검사 및 영유아 건강 검진.
Meron po kaming food handlers, green cards, school at sports clearances.
Greenig Marianas Medical Center oferece todo classe de serviço para a família mesmo here.
We accept Medicaid, Medicare, and most private insurance plans, and we also accept individuals without any medical insurance. We're conveniently located in the JKR building on Beach Road, Garapan. Marianas Medical Center, quality health care for your entire family.
Buenas sports fans. Buenas sports fans, the Master Soccer League ended Sunday evening at the Coblerville Training Center. Eats Easy added a ringer for the finale, while Los Viejos needed a shootout for the shout-out.
Season finale, pennant winning Eats Easy versus KSPN2 Pyrie, second place team. These two teams were at 1-2. A game. It was a delight for professional photographers. Opening minutes. Pyrie's Patrick McCallion with the first shot of the game, a chip shot off the mark. Eats Easy trying to get their newcomer Emil Schultz going. The throw in to Emil's friend Martin Zabor, who he misplayed that opportunity. He knew it. Martin with the corner trying to find his friend Emil. Oh, that was just a little bit too long. One could see that Schultz was a ringer, a serious skillman. Martin, the blast. That ball went all the way to Turnkeyhausen. No score. Pyrie with the attempt, and it was still 0-0. Emil to Friedel Cedillo, the beautiful pass. Oh, Friedel knows he should have had that. He says, hey, it's on me, pal. Emil, he does it all himself. He scored 5 goals in a 5-3 victory. Eats Easy takes the championship. Third place game, consolation. 4-4 tie coming down to a shootout.
Yes! It's not American football. You're supposed to put it under the bar. Under the bar.
Lar Wangpaya for Matanza, straight to Glenn Smith. Between the pipes for Los Viejos. It takes a lot of guts to wear a hockey jersey in a soccer game. Craig Elliott, Greg deliberating before placing the ball in the right side of the net, passed into Pablo. Gabriel Arco. Oh, it's off the crossbar. Smith got his hand pinched, but it was worth it since it saved the goal. Now for the game, Peter Loken, who had 3 goals in regulation time, freezes Pablo. He scores. Los Viejos bags third place.
Well, the U15 Team CNMI baseball team's on Guam for the Baseball Confederation of Oceanic qualifier. Today it was Guam 9, CNMI 5. Yesterday, CNMI got walled by New Zealand 18-1. You know, in 40 years, the Northern Marianas Sports Association has elected just 2 presidents. The first official name was Saipan Amateur Sports Association. The names morphed over the years, but the functions remain the same. The association's 5th decade will begin with their 3rd president.
In
1980, Bill Sokovich headed the inaugural Northern Marianas Amateur Sports Association and Olympic Sports Committee. Bill's commitment was originally driven through his involvement with swimming. 16 years ago, Michael White took over. He was coming from basketball. Now entering a new decade, there's a new vision for 2020. In 14 years as president of Northern Marianas Football Association, Jerry Tan took a sport that what had been almost nothing to being the most popular organized sport played here these days, a remarkable story in grassroots organization. NMI went from 0 trips in international competition to now 2019. NMI national teams took 7 trips to Asia, joining world competition. And as the program developed, Saipan experienced international success, including wins over FIFA countries. Now Tan takes over the lead of the Northern Mariana Sports Association with a clear 2020 vision.
I know sport is always important to our island and to our people, and I also know that we did very well in the past with a lot of good support, and but over time, with typhoon, with the economy, the sport is not the same anymore. So one of the first things I hope to see is to bring all the facility back up to a standard that our athlete would enjoy playing, our spectator would enjoy watching, and bring a lot of positivity, back into the sport.
Here's the windup and the pitch.
I don't believe what I just saw!
Get your game and gear at Gold's Gym Saipan. Group exercise is a great way to get fit and then stay fit. For something high tempo, go for a ride with one of our instructors in our new spin room. Let's roll. Pilates improves flexibility, builds strength, and develops control and endurance in the whole human body. It also improves coordination and balance. And the Shake Cafe is a great place to stop by for a meal replacement or supplement. See you at Gold's Gym.
Traveling or laying over on Guam? Don't wait around. Zip into Guam Adventures at Zipline Park inside the Hilton Resort and Spa. Guides will take you through a series of zips, starting with a mountain course and then zip over the ocean with spectacular views of Tumon Bay. 6 zip lines in all deliver a thrilling experience, and it's family friendly, so bring the kids ages 6 and up. You'll love the security of double lines and a new braking system to make riding smoother. The towers are named after the islands in the Marianas. We call it the Island Hopper. Your guides will teach you what you need to know to soar through the jungle with a bird's eye view. Best of all, for residents of Saipan, Tinian, and Rota, you can book this experience at 20% savings. Log on to GuamAdventures.com and during checkout, use offer code HAFA20. Book it and zip it today. We'll even pick you up. Today's high was 86, the low 77. Humidity 62%. Tomorrow partly cloudy, isolated showers, northeast winds 10 to 20. High 86, low 77. How about that? See 6 to 8 feet. Sunrise 6:46. High tide 12:31, and then sunset at 6 past 6.
All right, thank you, Bob.
Nice story. I saw the one yesterday on the villas. Those were just spectacular.
Yeah.
Boy, if you can book me a room here and get somebody to find somebody to pay for it, though.
Yeah, if I could afford it, I would be booking myself.
Well, those
one
are
too.
really nice.
Yeah.
And then today you did that one on the Lighthouse. So boy, rapid improvement. 15 months ago, you two, this place, look at it now.
Oh yeah,
Big
and
difference.
everything. Lots of improvements getting started, and hopefully we see more in the future. A lot of stuff on island.
No, we like to see those kind of stories. Keep them rolling.
Absolutely. And right now we're gonna roll on out of here. So you guys have a great rest of your night.
Good night.